Good morning, everybody. Heather Coleman here. I woke up today with something strong on my heart. And the more I sort of felt into this and kind of thought about it a little bit, the more I felt like, you know what, we need to have a live about this topic. We're going to go into this a bit. I mean, there's so much more. I mean, we could literally talk for hours about it, but just for today, I want to hone in on a couple aspects of this. So I happen to see a couple of news blasts from the name change, the Humane Society, but it's now called Humane World for Animals, that some dogs are being rescued from a suspected dog fighting ring. And if you think about that level of cruelty, we're talking about animals that are defenseless, that have been held in heavy short chains without proper access to food, water, veterinary care for their wounds. They've been really put in horrible conditions deliberately to set up to fight for the entertainment of people, right? And God, if you're anything like me, you're sitting there going, that's horrible. Just where's the justice for individuals that do this sort of thing? I'm going to talk about divine justice. And when I talk about a soul's arc or a soul's path, this isn't every soul, but this is some. So what I saw when I was kind of half asleep, which is sometimes for me, when I get my greatest insights, is that many of the souls, the individuals that have been found, or those that don't get found, to create these animal cruelty rings that will set up animal fighting, like starve and abuse animals and then get them to fight for entertainment. Think about this for a moment. How much do you know about the gladiators? I know a bit about them. I don't know everything, but I know enough to talk about this. Gladiators, I don't even know the exact century, so I won't say I did, but I know it was Rome. It was around that time and that place. They were slaves, okay? And they were forced to fight in these coliseums for entertainment. Okay. Think about this. Time is not linear on the other side, okay? So you think about a soul that needs to learn certain lessons in a certain way. And not always, but sometimes a soul that inflicts that level of cruelty and mind control from one direction, that soul has a chance of learning from being on the other side of it. You see what I'm saying? So bear with me. The kind of person, and I mean the kind of soul, that would set up dog fighting, how do you think they might develop empathy to what they put those animals through? Maybe a life as a gladiator. I don't know, a human slave forced to fight for the entertainment of others. Yeah, and see, and this works in the sense that time isn't linear on the other side. So a soul that's living a life as a ringleader of cruelty and abuse lives a life being on the other side of that cruelty and abuse, and they learn to break the cycle. And you might be sitting there saying, well, the gladiators were years and years ago, or the jousters. Not everyone wanted to joust in the medieval Europe. Not everyone wanted to. Some people did. But the point being that a soul could experience that, even though we see it as way in the past, but for that soul, the same soul that created a dog fighting ring in this day and age, then they feel the impact of what they did to others, whether it was humans or animals, by being a gladiator, being a slave forced to fight. So how do we break this cycle? Might be a topic for a whole other video, but I just wanted to hop on and talk about that a little bit. Oh, the other piece to this, my daughter, back when she was living at home, is a very powerful medium, and she and I talked about some of the darker souls. Now, can some of them be pulled up to better choices? Yes, they can. Some of them learn. But what about those that don't? What about the ones that get worse? And we're talking about the ones that, instead of learning empathy and learning non-harm, they get worse. They become sex traffickers. Because that's another path, by the way. The people that rape and that sex traffic often have a life where they're on the other side of that. And sometimes it works. Sometimes they're like, shit, I don't want to do that anymore. But if it doesn't work, eventually one of two things will happen to the souls that just get worse and worse. They're either going to one planet that's worse than this one, and it's in another dimension, and my daughter describes it better than I do, but I believe she said it's 10th dimension. There's a planet that's even worse, where stuff is bent and it's like a worse hell than this one, if you can believe it. If you can believe it. So that's one path for the souls that just get, like you're talking about, the worst, like the ringleading pedophiles, you know. Those souls are either going to that planet and have fun, folks. You earned yourself a pass to that place. Or, and I'm not going to describe this as well because human words kind of fail it. There's sort of like a vortex, a vacuum, where Source will send some souls to be kind of like, recycled is not the best word, but that's the best word for now, recycled. So just wanted to hop on with a few thoughts on all of this. If something resonates in this, leave a comment, leave a like. If you're on YouTube and you found something handy, check out my channel. Maybe consider subscribing, give the video a like. Other than that, everyone have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.